say it, but I have to say it. I am so stoked right now. My name is Rob. I'm one of your moderators this weekend, but you ain't here to see me, trust. My wife was here. She'd be like, just shut up and start talking, okay? Thank you for being here, first of all.
Oh my God, it's my pleasure. Like, this is my total fantasy right now to see y'all out here.
We recorded that, right? I just want to make sure. Okay, so up front, just know there's some things we can talk about, there's some things we can't. Everybody cool? All right. Now, here's the cool part. You see that thing right there? That's for you. Because I can do this all day, trust. But it's not about me. This is about y'all. So we want to leave plenty of time for Q&A. I got some stuff to talk about. I'm gonna, get things warmed up a little bit, and then it's for y'all.
Then I'll just start crying.
What do you think I'm fighting back right now? First time at a U.S. convention in the history of ever. How about that? You guys are part of history right now.
Only you could get me out of the forest.
Let's talk about your experience so far. How's it going?
I mean, I have cried already so many times, and I am just so thrilled to meet y'all, and some people more than once. I've met you before, and just to see the community come together is just, it's incredibly gratifying. It's incredibly gratifying, and I just want to thank you, really, for being here.
Thank you.
And you got the rest of today and all of tomorrow?
I know, I'm going to be here all day, and then I get to be here tomorrow, and the party continues. That's how I feel about it.
And it's not 140 outside, which is nice.
Right.
I was like, okay, please don't be 100, please don't be 100, please don't be 100.
Yeah, I stepped out of the hotel in a wool suit.
Oh, dear
Yeah,
Lord.
I was like, should check the weather.
So doing some digging, because that's what I do.
Okay.
I read there were 3 things that really earmarked to start your career. Did you work on Fiddler on the Roof when you were younger?
When I was in high school, I played Hoddle in Fiddler on the Roof.
Okay.
And I have no recollection of the part, frankly, but I do remember this one moment where, like, I wasn't me anymore, sort of, and I got to completely submerge myself into a story, and that was so intoxicating, and strangely, like, felt familiar that I wanted to do that.
You saw Bomb in Gilead with Jonah Allen?
Oh, yeah.
First of all, wow.
Yeah, well, because I'm from Chicago, and so I was a volunteer usher at the Steppenwolf, so I saw so many great productions, but Bomb and Gilead, they would play Bruce Springsteen really loud at the beginning, and I was like, what? This is theater? This is amazing. And she's incredible, always.
And from your time volunteer ushering, were there any other productions that stood out to you that you saw and you were like, this is the thing?
Well, it's more like in aggregate, I think, it's very exciting. It's just exciting to watch them in their process and watch them dive in. And, not that, as a volunteer usher, you're on the inside by any stretch of the imagination, but it was just a really exciting atmosphere. And Chicago's an amazing city for theater. It's like a very visceral type of theater, and every neighborhood has their own theater. So it's a very important part of the culture.
Were there any other moments that really stick out to you early that you said, like, this is my path, this is gonna be the thing, and nobody's gonna stop me?
I never really thought that. I never thought this is my path and nobody's gonna stop me. I was more like, I like the way this feels, and I don't know that anyone is ever gonna pay me to do it. But things just started arriving in my path. And it's almost like the universe goes, well, you may not know, but we know, so we're gonna help you out and put this in front of you. Does that make sense at all?
I don't know
Okay.
what she's saying.
All right, sometimes I don't know if I'm just making sense to myself. So.
I call that Thursday.
Yeah.
There's so many facets to the things you do. Being someone in the entertainment industry, you've worked on both sides of the camera, and I want to talk a little bit more about that later, but one of the things I found fascinating, photography.
Mm.
What draws you to that? Because I've read some really cool factoids that I don't know.
If they're real?
And if they are, I mean, I assume they are.
Right.
Because what I've read is there will be times where you'll take pictures of people and then just give them those pictures just because of the joy of it.
Yeah.
What is it about photography that draws you in like that?
Good looking out.
I think it makes you start to look at the world more closely. You start looking at shapes, you start looking at patterns, you start paying attention, and anything that helps me pay attention is a good thing. Like pay attention to the details, because I mean, frankly, we're all so lucky to be on this side of the dirt that you might as well really take everything in and enjoy it and savor it and experience it deeply. And for me, often the camera will do that. And to the point where sometimes, like, if I know that the photograph is, I don't know what the right word would be, truthful or well-balanced or whatever, like, I can taste it in my mouth. It becomes like a full body experience, you know? So I really love photography and started taking photographs when I was in high school. And then, oh my God, I don't know if I've ever told this story, but I was in, and tell me, please raise your hand if this is getting really boring and not what you came here for.
If I see a hand, I swear to God.
But I was in college, and my boyfriend was taking a class in photography, and I really wanted to do it, but I thought, oh, I'm not good enough to do that. And I had taken some portraits of him, and in the photography class you have a critique, like you put your photographs on the wall and the professor goes around and critiques your work and the other students critique your work. And so I said, can you bring this portrait in and just say that it was a self-portrait? And just tell me what they say. And so he did, and the professor told him, this is your best work, and I want you to put it in the show, like in the show, which was sort of awkward for our relationship, but we got past it. But it gave me the confidence to enroll in photography courses while I was at Yale, and there were amazing professors there at that time, and I learned so much from them. And I know that I have that photograph somewhere, and I'll post it for you guys. Yeah, because it was really sort of changed everything for me.
Is there a style of photography you prefer? Do you prefer landscapes? Do you prefer people interacting with each other?
You know what I lend more towards photojournalistic type of pictures, but I love how the environment informs the portrait and contextualizes the portrait. I think that kind of fascinates me, but you know, then I'll take a close-up of a mushroom, so I don't know.
And I'm sure it's probably the greatest mushroom in the history of mushrooms, because
I don't think so. No. But yeah, so photography has helped me in terms of acting to understand the frame. Like, I like to know where I am in the frame and what story we're telling with the character in this part of the frame, because I know in photography you're also telling that story. And I've started producing a lot more now, and just this notion of paying attention has been really helpful also in talking to writers, like paying attention to details of the story and rhythm of the story. It's exciting.
You talk
isn't
about
it so good to be alive? Aren't we so lucky?
Yes. You're talking a little bit more about working behind the camera.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you to separate and take that producer hat off when you're in front of the camera?
No,
are you able
not at
to
all.
immerse yourself in that and be like, I can worry about this later when we yell cut?
Oh yeah, no, I'm like, okay, that's your job now. This is my job over here. So I don't have any problem with that.
You mentioned,
Yeah, I think, do I? I don't know. I don't think so. I was pretty flip about that. That came pretty easily. So, but I don't think it's a problem.
you mentioned the environment.
Mhm.
And in my research, giving back is a big thing, it appears to be for you. And I'm totally here for it. I'm all about giving back, because a blessing isn't a blessing if you can't share it.
Right.
Climate leadership groups, working with the Matthew Shepard Foundation, the Pavlov Foundation, GLSEN. You were recognized with a Human Rights Campaign Ally for Equality Award. Talk about the importance of that as it ties into what you do.
Well, that's a really interesting question, but in terms of tying back to what I do, I think you follow the things that you love and that matter to you, and giving can come on all kinds of levels. Like, you can give to the people in your family, you can give to the people in your friend group, you can give to your community, and I don't think it, in the long run, like, I don't know that you necessarily get more points if you're working with a big organization or not. The most important thing is to continue to give and to love and to create community and support one another. And so I have the great honor to be in a position to talk about these things that matter to me, and maybe people will listen or pay attention. But I think it's really can be on any level. And to that degree, in terms of what I do, how it informs what I do, in a scene, you must give. You must give. Whether you're on camera or off camera. And sometimes for me, being off camera is just as exciting, and sometimes more exciting even than being on camera, to be able to give to someone and support them. So those organizations mean a lot to me, and I've been working with GLSEN a lot recently, and it's an organization that I think is so important, particularly for the times in which we live, and I encourage you all to check them out, because they're doing really, really great work.
And that's GLSEN without the I.
Right, GLSEN. Yeah.
Remember, guys, this is about you. Again, I can do this all day. She says, no, Rob, you can do this for 45 minutes. But we've got the mic here for you guys to ask your questions. It's okay, don't be shy. I don't bite unless provoked. And you're a lot younger and faster than me, so we're gonna be okay. Hello, what's your name?
Kelsey.
Kelsey, what would you like to ask?
Okay, so I got a question. What is the favorite place that you've ever visited?
The favorite place I've ever visited?
Yeah, it's
That's really, really hard. That's really hard. But I know that New Mexico is my favorite state. Like, you
New
know,
Mexico in the house.
to go to northern New Mexico is like, you're levitating. It's so incredible. But it depends. And also, I think it depends on the time in my life, you know, because there's so many beautiful places. And I think a lot of it is informed by relationships. And that can be relationships with trees. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Give it
you.
up for Kelsey with that question, you guys.
Yay.
All right. What's your name?
Samantha.
Samantha, all right.
Good, thanks. I wrote it down because I was really nervous. So your character, she seems really powerful and really passionate when something aggravates her.
Is this Bet you're talking about?
How
did
did I say your
know?
name? Okay. I didn't know I could say your name. But you just seem like a very, like, how do I put this into words? Very sweet and professional woman. And when something gets me mad, I just stay to myself. So I want to know, how do you deal with conflict? Do you also burst out, or do you just talk with one-on-one? Like, how do you resolve conflict? Or
How do I resolve? Well, first of all, what's really interesting is something you brought up, is how I've come to be who I am, and some of that is really informed by the characters I get to play. And Brett, I think, is the one who brought me to a state of confidence that I hadn't had before then. And so those characters that come afterwards, like Garza, is informed by Bet, you know? And Claudia in Book of Eli is informed by Bet, because they're so strong, they're all survivors, and they have a laser point of view in their lives. So, but it's acting. And so for those characters that are more egoic than maybe I would be in terms of anger, like going to anger, I try not to do that, because it's not usually helpful. And I remember reading this study where the chemicals that are released in your brain when you get angry only are effective for like 90 seconds. And then what you do with that feeling is then a choice. So what are you going to choose to do? Now, having said that, there are moments when righteous anger is an incredible engine, like it's an incredible fuel. So that, I don't know, I think that's valuable in some ways. But again, it's how do you direct it? And I think getting a group together and figuring out how do we solve the problem, and not just sitting in the anger, is probably the healthiest thing to do. Does that make sense?
yeah, that's what
How about it for Samantha, you guys? And Samantha, it's okay. I have my questions written down too, so we're good, my friend. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Nicole.
Nicole,
Hi.
what you got?
Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, my pleasure.
Obviously, a lot of us are huge L-Word fans. And surprise, surprise. And my question is, when you first got the role back in the day, obviously you're gonna be on this show, it's a job. Was there an event, did somebody say something, did something happen that made you realize this is way more than just a TV show? It's kind of something that's very, very important to a lot of us, got us through a lot. And when was it that you realized, or was something happen that made you realize that?
Well, first of all, when I took the part, I wanted it for that person who may not have access to their community. Like, I recognized that right away. And Eileen was like, let's just make a good TV show. And I was like, no, we gotta talk to that person out there who doesn't have anybody. And well, yes, let's make a good TV show and do this other thing, which hopefully we did. But I remember my husband and I we were filming the pilot. My husband and I were at a restaurant, and you know, we just leaned over and kissed each other, and it dawned on me, like, if we had been a queer couple, that would have been a big moment at this particular restaurant. And I thought, wow, you know, like, I've been living in this bubble, and my eyes have opened, and I want to help other people open their eyes to a different community that is not really different. Like, love is divine, period.
Amen.
Nicole, everybody, great question. I love it when you guys get to do my job for me, because then I just get to sit here and listen. This is amazing. What's your name?
Look, I haven't cried yet. I'm so proud.
My name is Amber.
Hi.
All right, Amber, what you got for us?
Okay, so I know that in the L Word, your character Bed, there are a lot of things about her that you've said that frustrate you, about her personality, how she handles things. My question is, out of all of the characters that you've played, not just in L Word, which character resonates with you the most? Or, and I know it's acting, but which character do you feel like you gain the most from?
Well, that's sort of different. Like, I feel like I've gained the most from Beth, for sure, on many different levels, partially because I played her for so long. So I've had a really complex, long journey with her, and as I said before, she really helped me in my own sense of confidence in a lot of ways. But gosh, they're all so dear to me. It's like a Sophie's Choice moment. Like, yeah, like. But I have to say, being able to play Margot Taft in The Last Tycoon was really important to me. Thank you.
So answer that question, you guys. You guys are bringing it. I love this. What's your name?
Hi, Kelly.
Hey, what you got?
My question is related to acting. I'm fascinated by the process of building a character, and you played so many complex ones so far. But I'm interested to learn how is your process of letting go, because you feel those emotions. You live on that persona for a while, right? So how is the process? I think we are so driven to understand the process of building the character, but how is the process of letting go?
Like letting go at the end of the season or the end of the day, or?
At the end of the season, how you walk away from that persona, because you go there, you dedicate so many hours,
Right.
It's such a hard work, and how is that process of letting that persona go?
Well, the most difficult one to let go or manage, I guess, in a way, was Claudia in Book of Eli, because she's going through like really, really difficult things. And I didn't want to carry that with me all the time, but I also don't want to let go of it completely, because it helps me go deeper and deeper. So even when I was walking around, like I would just kind of like where that chair is, I'd put it there, and so she'd walk with me, but not in me, kind of. But so when it was time to go back on set, it's like, okay, let's go, you know. Does that answer your question?
Thank
Not
you.
really.
Thanks so much for having that great question. But that's a valid question, because sometimes it's like, how do I get this person out of my head?
Yeah, and sometimes you don't want them to go, I mean, you want them out of your head because you have to, you know, balance structuring the part and structuring the scenes, but then there's a moment where you let go in the middle of the scenes. It's all very complicated, and yet really simple, because kids do it all the time, children do it all the time. But you want to be able to access it quickly.
What's your name?
Hi, Jennifer. My name is Yuan.
Hello.
Hi. So before I ask my question, I just really want to say a big thank you to you, because about more than 10 years ago, the first time I was watching The Air Word, I was a closeted version of myself in my college dorm room in China, and I want to say that your character played a big role as an inspiration for me to come to the U.S. for grad school and then later live here to just live as my true self. So thank you.
And there she goes. It is my honor. It's my honor.
Thank you so much. So my
Right. I was doing so well, so well. But I'm so grateful that you're here, and I'm so grateful that you had access to the show. You know.
originally the first time I watched it, I didn't know it's about LGBTQ like lifestyle. I randomly watched one episode to practice English, and then
That is such a great story.
it is a true story. But okay, sorry. So my question is,
Wait, I gotta laugh because that's funny.
It's like, you can't just drive by that block. Hold on.
That was really fun.
okay. So my question is, I was wondering, so when you decided to bring the award back in Generation Q, like the first day you got together with the crew, like what was your vision? Like what are the new things you wanted to bring out with the new series?
Gosh, well, it was so exciting because, you know, we were off the air for 10 years or something, and the world changed. Like language changed. like people conflating gender with sexuality, like people started waking up to, hey, you know, that's not necessarily the same thing. And people who were being given pronouns that didn't match how they felt about themselves were saying, no. Hello. Oh, God bless you. Thank you.
Give it up for listening, being on top of it. That is one of my favorite humans right now.
Thank you. All of the world started to change, and this new generation came up who said, no, we're not taking this. So we're going to change the English language. We're going to start to change culture. And that was incredibly exciting. And when Kate and Leisha and Eileen got together, we all got together and just said, we've got to, you know, come up with stories for this generation and honor this change, because it's God, what is the word? It's like a tectonic shift, and they did that. That's amazing to me. So
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Make some noise for that story and that question.
Okay.
Wow. Hi, what's your name? Oh, she knows her name.
Yeah, my name is Dina.
All right.
So I don't know if I can ask this, so it's okay if you can't answer, but as a huge New Yorker, huge Tibet fan, you guys know where I'm going. I gotta know the answer.
Well, here I'm gonna stop you because there was a big WGA strike.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So you know, we'll
That
see
also.
what's happening.
Yeah. It's like some things we can talk about, some things we can't.
We'll see what's happening. Honestly, because they couldn't write, so we'll see. But go you for asking that question. Wait, Tina, that's it? Like what? You're just gonna leave me with that?
I'll ask one more question. So how has motherhood, like roles in general? So like that's.
I mean, it hasn't so much. I mean, like I took a Christmas movie for, you know, for fun, but not really, not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Tina. What's your name?
My name is Rochelle, and
Hello.
All right, Michelle.
I'm actually from Chicago. I flew in today just for this.
Oh, welcome.
What part of Chicago? I mean, are you from?
82nd in Indiana,
Southside. Okay.
South Side, and then near North, Schiller and Clark.
Okay. No, so-
Clark, did you hear that? Yeah.
Okay, and you know, I was a fan of Chicago Code. It was kind of short-lived or whatever. Do you ever visit Chicago, or is there any plans to do anything?
Yeah, sure. My mom lives in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I go
Right.
every now and again. She'll come visit me sometimes, or I go visit her, or go for a holiday.
Okay.
And I loved living there when I was doing Chicago Code. It was really wild. It was very, you know, Thomas Wolfe kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and she asked my last question about the Elwood, New York. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Really nice to
So
meet
love
you.
the Rochelle, the great Chicago talk. As a Braves fan, I am not saying anything bad about Chicago right now. Because we're in battle in kind of a series, but that's okay. What's your name?
My name is Cherokee.
All right, Cherokee, what you got?
Hi. What kind of character would you want to play in the future? Because I can just imagine as a really good villain character.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But like in the future, what would be your ideal character that you just want to play but you've never had the chance?
Like some kind of fantasy thing, like some kind of, not a witch, but you know, a witch.
So D&D movie part 2,
Where's
right?
my manager? He's like,
Yeah.
like what?
He's back there
I
sweating.
didn't have that
Careful,
conversation.
careful.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know what I want to play. Like, I to be honest, like I'm always believe that the universe in some ways knows a lot more than I do. So, what they want to offer to me, where I will be best served to be in this story, is where I want to be,
Thank you.
which is a witch.
Nice. Nice job, Cherokee. Hi, what's your name?
Robin.
All right.
Robin.
I'm gonna try really hard not to cry, but I really want
I
to
have
thank you
Kleenex.
for everything
I'll
that you
share.
have done for the community, for every community, not just the gay and lesbian community, but for everyone.
You're an amazing human being, and I can't thank you enough. You inspire me to be kind. You inspire so many to be a good human. So thank you for that. And my question, now that I'm a blubbering mess, is
Wait, hold on. We got it.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So, how was the show? I saw some vendors. Jennifer Beals gave me a Kleenex. It was a good day.
Take a moment. We're gonna dab.
Yeah, my question is, which do you prefer best, TV or movies?
Oh, I like I go where the story is. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, it's more about who are my co-creators, who are my scene partners, who's my director, who are the writers, what kind of ethos are we existing in, what kind of story vibe do we get to dive into together? Because you're all like diving into each other's unconscious kind of, and it's exciting. So it doesn't matter to me if it's TV or film. And thank you so much for your kind words. It really means a lot. Y'all inspire me, is the fact.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all give some love. Love it, love it, love it. Hi, what's your name?
I hope I can talk. I'm literally shaking all over. I'm such a huge fan.
Oh, thank you.
Can you give us any tips? Because you've had very long marriages, 2 of them.
That makes me feel so much like Elizabeth Taylor right now.
I blacked out. What just happened?
Especially in Hollywood, how is your husband? Don't get super jealous, and everyone you meet. Tips for a long relationship.
Well, did I mention I was on the L word for a long time? That was probably easier for him. We have such a beautiful relationship, and he's so grounded and powerful as a human being and kind, like the biggest heart of anybody I've ever met, and also like a very intense defenseman as a hockey player. Like I probably shouldn't even tell a story, but I'm gonna. Met him, so sweet, so kind. And then I went with him, we're dating, and I went with him, I was gonna go play hockey, and I was gonna go watch my man, like, skate. And then he took someone out, and I was like, oh my God, my boyfriend just killed someone. But he's very, he's Canadian, what can I say?
In your part, like, you must put a lot in your part for such long relationships.
Well, sure, it's like the giving thing, right? And talking to each other and making sure that you're clear about what you need, and then supporting them. And
you make it sound so easy. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
How about it for that question, you guys? All right, what's your name?
Adriana.
Adriana, what's your question?
Hi.
Who are you?
Pardon me?
Who are you?
That's a very interesting question. It depends on the day. It depends on the day. I'm in a strange loop. How about you?
What do you even do?
Pardon me, Kay?
I said, what do you even do? I've never heard of you.
Oh, I am an actor. I'm an actor.
What movies have you acted in?
I have acted in a film called Flashdance. I've acted in Double Fat. I've acted in a film called Book of Eli. I've acted in, I think, over 95 or maybe 100 movies. But you know what? I get you. Like, you can't watch everything. You don't always know what anybody's doing.
But I mean, your work should be memorable enough so people can
But do you think, see, for me, it's really interesting. And I don't know that I need to be remembered. I don't know that I need to be remembered.
I remember you. And what I would say is take some time, look up some of her work, and next time back around she comes through again, you can be more familiar, and then you'll know what we've got going on. How about that? Okay. Sound like a plan?
Thank you.
All right, give some love to Adriana right there.
Thank you.
All right, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Tonda.
Hi.
I like that. I forgot my question. Hold on. Do you have like 3 or 2 or 3 like really like movies that you think are really impactful and that everyone should watch at some point? And then
I wouldn't should on anybody. Like I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I would say, oh, you have to watch this movie that I'm in.
ones that you personally were impacted by them?
Well, I loved The Last Tycoon. I loved Margot Taft. I love
Right.
Book of Eli. I love Roger Dodger. You know, obviously the L Word, and there's so many. Like like In the Soup, I think is a really great film. And I did this crazy Italian film, Caro Diario, and yeah, but I don't feel like I would ever should on anybody. But also to this other young girl's point, like I really don't, like this impulse to feel like you want to be remembered,
Right.
or to have a legacy, or like I'm gonna build my legacy. I never think that way. Like that's not in my thought process. It's like, how kind can you be to somebody right now?
Great question. Got time for a few more. We're gonna get to as many as we can. What's your name?
Jules.
I love this. Jules, what can we do for you?
If you can't answer the what's next or that Porter question.
Right, yeah, I can't answer that one.
Were you always a Star Wars fan? Because I love Garza Whip.
Yes, I loved Star Wars. Well, come on, like, you learn about the Force. Like, that was a moment when I was a kid, was like, yeah, that's that feeling that I have when I'm in nature. Like, that's that feeling, that's so cool. I was like, what's that? Let's find out what that's about.
How many of you had that Leonardo DiCaprio meme moment when you saw her on screen the first time? That was me. I'm not lying. That was me.
Did you take anything with you after playing Garza? Anything from the set? And
Oh gosh, I don't think they would let me. For sure. Did I get to take anything?
Outfits?
Oh gosh, no. No, that goes in a museum. I probably somebody gave me one little thing, but I don't even remember what it is because Disney's got a hard lockdown on that. You know how that goes.
And if Garza was still alive, which I still believe she is,
Yeah.
what would you be doing?
Rebuilding.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, and scaling it out. Like there would be like, you know, franchises. Yeah.
Give some love to Jules for that question, you guys. I think we got time for 3 more.
Worked it in. I wasn't going to ask.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Barb.
All right, Barb.
And I'm by trade a literature professor. But what I wanted to say is that this magnificent woman in front of us, who does have a legacy and always will have a legacy, because she has the most soothing voice we've ever heard. And when you did Granddaddy's Turn,
Oh, yeah.
A Journey to the Ballot Box, it was at a time when we were all locked down. It was one of the most lovely gifts to the world. Everyone should hear this. And everyone should hear it on a weekly basis because it's just timely and it's beautiful. And we're supposed to be asking questions, but I'd like to say you should do more audiobooks.
Oh, yes. My manager was very happy. Did you hear that, Mike? I should be doing more audiobooks.
Yes. Daisy. I don't care how you do them and distribute them, but I mean, your voice just is. Back in the day, I mean, you could have done therapy books.
Thank you. You know what's funny is that my mom was a school teacher, and she would sometimes do books on tape for the kids way before there was such a thing as books on tape, and she would always ask me to narrate them when I was a little kid.
And did you?
Yes, it was
Well, there
so
you
much
go.
fun. It was so much fun.
Don't stop
But you
that
know what's
ever.
really interesting about Granddaddy's Turn? I was at an event where the author was speaking about his book, because he had a book that came out prior to Granddaddy's Turn, and he started talking about his relationship with his grandfather. And afterwards I met him and I said, you know, that's a book. Like, you need to write that book. And when he did, I was so touched. He called me and let me know that he was going to do it, and I was really moved by that.
I came across it by accident. And I thought, well, I wonder if she's done others. And that just got me looking.
Yeah.
And why isn't she doing this all the time?
Okay. Oh, I did do Daisy Jones.
Yes.
Yeah. That was so fun.
Again.
You're like in a booth for 8 hours.
I'm falling asleep right now.
There you go, because it's relaxing, right? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Great question from our guys. 2 more, let's go. What's your name? Destiny, get up on the microphone so everybody can hear you.
Okay, Destiny.
Hi, Destiny.
So my question is actually about Flashdance.
Okay.
So you had said how you had multiple doubles, right?
Yes, yeah.
So when you were doing your water scene, did you pull the water?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, I did.
Thank you.
Oh,
How
wait,
about
I have another story.
wait.
There's a story that goes with that. Sorry. When the L Word cast first all got together in Vancouver back in whatever was that 2000 or something.
2000. I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, I hear you. We, as a bonding thing, we went out and did karaoke. I sang Pat Benatar, and somebody else did What a Feeling. And in the background, I took a bottle of water and poured it on myself and so it was sort of a full circle. It was a full circle moment. It was really fun.
That's amazing.
That's a good group.
All right, let's do one more. I'm so sorry, but we're running short on time. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Gabby.
All right, Gabby, what's your question?
My question is, I really love the story of you getting down on your knees and asking the universe for this epic love story.
Oh yeah.
Now, manifesting and just talking to the universe in general is like a very powerful thing. Do you have any advice on how to get to that level to just being able to connect in that way with the universe and just, because I've been trying to manifest things, but I feel like I'm not doing it right for some reason.
But sometimes they're on a different time zone than you are, But I think being in nature really helps. And I think the sincerity of the request helps. And when it's less about you, it certainly helps. But, they're all watching you right now. The universe is watching you right there now, and they hear you. And it's not even a they, it's an energy. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. We have one quick thing, if you don't mind.
Sure. I think
You mentioned
sure.
a role a couple of minutes ago. We have some of our friends from the 501st Legion here.
Okay.
And they would like, you want me just to say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
They would like to induct you as an honorary member of the 501st Legion for the work you've done in the last few years.
Wow.
So y'all come on out. I'm gonna let Rachel get the picture because, okay, whoa.
Not again.
And I'm gonna step out of the way because, yeah. She's in the Legion now, y'all. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm gonna be way up here for a while. I'm just saying. Am I the only one in the room that's gonna get natural high? She's got her room over there in the Longhorn room. Please go see her, get your autographs, get the stuff. Huge noise. One more time. Jennifer Beals.
Also, I guess Andrew just told me that 4 o'clock in here for the if you know, you know moment. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That was in here? Yeah.